candlelit chandelier dangling above one of the heavy wooden tables. Just before it hit its mark, shadows leapt from the crevices of the room and snared the book. "That looks like control to me." His rich baritone was edged with resentment and something sharp, and I knew that unnamed emotion, the one that felt so much like hatred and disgust, was aimed directly at me. I opened my mouth to respond when his shadows quivered as if they'd been electrified. They shifted to menacing spires and speared the book, slicing clean through the pages and binding. A flurry of torn parchment churned in the dark chaos of his power until the tendrils finally dissipated, leaving nothing but a pile of shredded pages behind. My stomach nodded several times over. "I see you and I have different definitions of control." Gaige's jaw tightened and he looked away. Learning to wield the shadows was a necessity. If they grew without restraint, uncontained and ravenous, they'd devour their host and pull him or her deep into the shadow realm, never to be seen again. I'd only witnessed such a fate once before. Even then, Talmadge, a previous guildmaster of Cruor, had killed the assassin before the darkness could engulf him entirely. The power behind those virulent ink-black tendrils had been otherworldly, and Gaige's shadows were nearly as disastrous. "You cannot prolong this any longer. You are undead. You walk with the shadows. This is your life now, chosen or not, and it's time to lead it." He shot up from his seat, fists clenched by his side, gloved fists. "I did not choose this life, Kost. I'm dealing with the wretched hand I've been dealt, and I'll do whatever I damn well please with it." My brows shot up, and I stepped forward, going toe-to-toe with the man I'd once thought I might love. "Wretched? Is that what you think of this place? Of your brethren? Calum, Ozias? Me?" His nostrils flared as heat colored his eyes a dangerous shade of steel. He raised his right hand between us and yanked the glove off. I cringed. His faded charmer symbol never ceased to rack my body with guilt. Before, the inked marking had been a vibrant citrine tree full of life. Now, it was nothing more than a smeared charcoal etching, a permanent reminder of the beast realm and all the beloved creatures he could no longer access. All because of me. "How many times, Kost?" His voice was barely a whisper, but it simmered with so much fury it felt as though he'd shouted. "How many times do we have to have this conversation? You will never comprehend what I lost the day I died." He stared at me for moments on end, waiting for me to break. And I almost did. I almost slumped to the bay window bench and buried my head in my hands. I was so desperate to end this agony for the both of us. I wanted to stop fighting. I wanted things to just be easy, for once. I wanted things to go back to the way they were before he'd met his demise in the Kitska forest, and yet I was ashamed to even think that. Those were the very words that had been uttered to me when I'd been raised and subsequently left by someone I loved. Slowly, I exhaled and willed my frustration to flee. I would not do that to Gaige. I would not leave him to face this fate alone. I'd known that begging Nock, the former guildmaster of Cruor, to raise Gaige would have consequences. I'd known it'd likely make it impossible for him to call on his charmer magic ever again. And still I pushed for it to happen, selfishly wanting him to live. His fate was my responsibility. I couldn't break. I needed to be strong for him. Cold, even, if that's what it took to help him find his way. "I'm not here to discuss what you lost, Gaige. I'm here to help you forge a new path forward, even if you didn't want it to begin with." I stepped around him, nearing the window and gazing at the silhouettes of training assassins in the faded heather-purple light of dusk. Swallowing thickly, I tugged at the hem of my vest. "I can train you privately, if you'd prefer. I am at your disposal." Gaige blinked, and for a moment there was a sliver of the man I used to know, a surprised curl to his lips, a mischievous glint to his eyes. He seemed to recognize his inadvertent reaction, though.